I'm Lord Born Justice Allah. The God Allah Infinite is interviewing me in the Positive Seed Resource Center in Pelon. And I had knocked myself for 57 years. And we're speaking about what happened at PS 92, Mary Baclaw Bethune High School. So the situation is there was some disruption in the community that was of a uncivilized nature. And the chairperson, I would say, or the mouth of the block of a person that's in the block association was irate about some of the things that she was seeing done, in the block. Not saying it all was done by gods and earths in the nation, because we couldn't identify who was who, but a lot of activities was taking place during the time of the show and prove. She had complained to the principal, and the principal basically said that at this point, based on what the tenant came and showed her on her camera, that we're not going to be allowed to have PS 92 right now. So this was a couple of months ago. So I'm going to reach out to Bilal to see if we can extend our olive branch to the principal and to the block association to see if there's a way that we can kind of turn that negative into a positive. Like having some meetings with the board, the block association members to assure them or reassure them that we can have things in a secured and civilized fashion. We was doing good in February, March, April, and May. Everything was good. Security was policing the block. We had no problem. But June came, time of the show and prove, and more people came out from different areas, and it just got crazy.
Was it because the people from different areas didn't know the actual protocol for?
I think it was two things. I think that the people that was out of state didn't really know the protocol, but also the people who they was coming to visit should have pulled their coat and explained to them, well, listen, we can't do this here, we can't do that here, we can't loiter here, and that wasn't done. But the thing about it, during the show and prove, everything was fine outside. What happened is it's the aftermath. I mean, like, even though people smoking marijuana and it's legal, you just can't be on somebody's stoop, on their property, and roll up a blunt. When the lady came out the building, somebody said something, she said something to somebody, they didn't respond properly, she just got irate. Instead of doing what you're gonna do in a car or wherever you're gonna do it at, I mean, people are gonna be people, they're gonna do what they're gonna do regardless of whom or what. I think that could have been dealt with in a different fashion, and the block association member could have had that done in a different fashion, because earlier in the day, I had like a half-hour conversation with her. Her name is Monique, and we spoke for like a half hour. She came inside, everything was fine. We came out, walked down the block toward Guard Avenue, we was talking, everything was good. One of her problems was the congestion that they have in the block during the week, that she know that it wasn't us, because we're not there during the week. Once a month, she said they can deal with it. Her problem that when she come home from work, there's no place to park and this and that. So I said, listen, I extended that. As long as we have the parliament, when you coming from work and you're working on a Sunday, give me a call and we'll reserve a parking spot for you in the block. But I never had a chance to give her my map. So I went back inside, talked to Bilal for a minute, and I told her I had talked to the lady, and he asked me where she was at. I said, she better cross the street. So he went and talked to her, and everything was fine. So I went over there again the second time, and she introduced me to her niece and her grandniece. They were sitting on the stoop, and everything went well. That was like maybe at about 3 o'clock. About 6:30, I was leaving. I got 2 phone calls from security from both branches, the front and the side, and they was telling me what happened. I could hear the woman in the background complaining.
It's the same woman.
Same woman, Monique, yeah. And she was irate and talking on the phone, and nobody could really speak to her. I told them just to secure the building, make sure everything is okay. We'll deal with her later. And then I got the call from Bilal the next day, which was Monday after the show and prove. And that's when he informed me that he talked to the principal, and the principal basically said that, unfortunately, that she can't give us another permit for like next month, but she didn't know we wasn't going to ask for it. So time has passed. Willfully, I can try to explain to her that we got things under control and give us a chance so that we can show and prove that we can police and secure our area and see how that goes. I'll keep you informed and let you know what's going on with that.
Well, do we really want to go back into a public school or back into 92? I mean, this is the second time we left. We got out of Harry Tubman, so now,
The problem is this, I've said this many times, it's not the location, because we can get a location anywhere, it's the behavior of various people, either in the nation or associated with brothers and sisters in the nation. It's the behavior. The behavior has to change, whatever it is. They got to have behavior modification. There's just certain things that you just don't do. I mean, you can go to other, places where they have community events and meetings and things of that nature, and where they congregate at. And there's certain things you just don't bring into somebody else's block and act like you can't respect the block. Because that's like somebody coming and you got a private house, or you got a private house, and you don't want nobody sitting on your stoop, Like I did a job this morning, one of my contracts, and I was on the stoop of a private house. So a lady came out the building and asked me, "Are you waiting on somebody?" I said, "Yes, I'm doing work in an apartment on the first floor." And then that was it. But that could have went any direction based on how my response. Like, why you asking me about that? Who you? But I didn't do that. So it's all about behavior modification. Now, I know Doc Kim gave me a call the other day. He's looking into some things, reaching out to some people to try to get a location. It may not be 92, but like you said, September's coming around the corner, and we would like to have some place inside where we can have the parliament. And we'll see where that goes. But wherever we go, security can only do so much. I mean, every man in this nation is part of security, whether they put G-O-D on their chest or don't, because we have to secure our situation, our location. We have to protect the women, the babies, and the elders in this nation. You can't just label them off. You got maybe 8 brothers on security and 2 herbs. You can't put the weight of the nation on those 8 people. So to me, everybody is deputized in this nation to add on for the betterment and the security of the nation. So we're moving forward, we're striving to see what we can do. And like I said, we was doing good in February, March, April, May. Everything was fine, no problems. June, it was a different reality. So we'll see what's going to happen as we move forward.
What would be the likelihood of utilizing 2122 as I know it's small, but our parliaments have been.
It has been small. That's an option on the table that, if nothing else, we can have it at the school while the weather is nice. We were talking about maybe getting a tent. How some churches have the revival tents outside, whereas you can get a heating system put in there. It's just a matter of striving to put a little level to the ground, but we can fix that. That's not going to be a problem, but that'll be temporary fix until we can figure out what we want to do. So that's on the table, to get one of them tents and see where we can go.
I think we having all these problems at these different other people's houses, really, right? We should get it together in our home.
Well, if we use the school, the same mentality has to be enforced as far as security. I mean, I think everybody now is feeling the pain of not being able to go into a school to have a parliament. So if we bring it to our national headquarters, I would think that more brothers and sisters would add on to help secure the area.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just more. I'm just thinking more so just tightening up.
Right.
We done had those locations, and now we gotta,
So now what we gotta do, like you said, we gotta tighten up, and that's the conversation that I've been having with various guards and nurses since that incident happened. There's so a lot of misconception, misinformation on why we don't have the school anymore. And they talking about one issue, that's something that happened, had nothing to do with another issue. Right. But the real issue was the people in the block was doing things that was coincide with our righteousness, and the tenant just went ballistic and said she can't have it in her block. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, and the principal is really rocking with her.
No, but the principal only went by what she said, because she came with a phone.
Okay.
See, look, I got pictures. I got it on camera.
Wow.
But the principal never told Bilal and showed him what was on the camera.
Right. Okay. So we never got the footage.
We never saw it. But the principal told Bilal that the resident came and had pictures and showed on the camera.
Right.
So we never saw it ourselves. We never had a chance to actually say, well, that's not us.
Yeah.
I'm looking to follow up on the last conversation that Bilal had with her to see if we can basically have a sit down before school starts
Right.
for it's time for the parliament to see if we can get some kind of leeway.
Right.
So,
So September, is it gonna, September most likely we'll have it at 21, 22?
well, we don't know yet,
Don't
but
know.
if
Not
we
certified.
if it don't go well with the principal to get back into 92, first line of defense will be to have it at a law school in Mecca.
Right.
And then see where we can go from there. But like I said, Doc Kim is making phone calls. Maybe I'm thinking other guards is making calls to various centers in the community to see which one will give us a house to have our universal parliaments in.
And at this point, it's like a sword above our heads.
Basically,
Yeah.
but again, it falls back to behavior. It's not the people that want to. They don't have no problem renting it to us. The problem is people don't want the negative attitude, the negative atmosphere to come to the school.
Right.
Because it's a Sunday, people coming from church. A lot of people coming from church, and they're not used to seeing certain things on a Sunday. And if you openly doing something, if you're drinking, if you're smoking, you're doing all those things, you can fast for a day or a couple of hours and go on your block, go to the park, go anywhere instead of socializing in the block where we're trying to have a civilized, conversation and civilized activities. So,
Would you say that that's the state of where we're at right now? You know what I mean? Overall?
but not for everybody. It's the
For
chosen
the majority,
few.
the majority though.
Well, it's a minority, to be
It's a
honest with you.
minority?
It's a minority of people like that, but because marijuana is legal, they think you can roll up and smoke and do anything anywhere. You can't come to a law school and roll up and smoke weed there.
But it wasn't just about marijuana. It was also about like loitering. It was a loitering.
It was
issue.
loitering, marijuana, drinking, and somebody, urinating in the street.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Right,
so
right.
we don't know, again, we don't know if it was us, but like I said, it's a salt and pepper combination. We don't know who was who because we never saw the footage.
Right.
And like I said, I'm looking to talk to Bilal to see if we can get a meeting with the principal some kind of way, or she's just saying it's a dead issue. She's been very helpful and supportive of us in the past, and I'm looking, since it cooled down a little bit from June, we got July, we in August,
Right.
September, maybe we can reassure her that we pull the bad roots up and got things separated, give us another chance and see what we can do. But again, if we do that, we got to make sure that not just the GOD and the EOD is securing that neighborhood, that any guard that's in the nation, everybody, every citizen in the nation should be able to say, yo, you have to do that around the corner, or don't do that here. Like when I was coming up back in the day when we was doing things that wasn't right and exact, certain people would pull our coat, the older brother would pull our coat and say, yo man, don't do that here. They go Miss Brown over there, don't do that. Or they go Grandpa so-and-so, don't do that, go up the block. It's a matter of respect. If you lose the edge of respect, you don't have no respect for yourself, how you gonna respect somebody else's community? You gotta have respect. And smoking weed, if you drink, if you smoke, if you do anything with any kind of substances, you should have enough sense to do it in seclusion, whether you be in a car, truck, van, or whatever, not just openly be on the street, doing the thing that you're teaching 85% is not to do. How you gonna teach an 85% not to do this, and this, and you basically doing the same thing? It's not right. You can't just use the concept, well, I'm God and nobody can tell me what to do. Right. I've been in this nation longer than you've been in Pampers or been out of Pampers. That's not the thing. It's a matter of respect. Being civilized, you know how to act at home and abroad. Right. The lessons pertain to the earth in the 14th degree and 1 to 14, but the same token, that applies to the guards too. The men of this nation got to have the same mentality. Like everybody's not under that particular sword, so to speak, or that umbrella. It's a few, and the few that are doing it, then the many need to check the few. If they do it like that, then we'll be fine. And I think this incident has made a lot of minds open, a lot of eyes open, a lot of concerns, because I have got a lot of calls near and far about the situation, and they're asking me basically same thing that you just asked me, what's the next move? Right. So the next move, if we don't get a location to go inside, we're going to use a law school in Mecca to start it and see where we can go in and see what we can do from there. If we got to get a tent and have it on our own property, then that's what we'll do.
I mean, I think that's the best bet.
But we got room. The yard is big enough to have.
Right.
We can get we can rent the tent you know, for that time, or we can buy a tent. But it don't make no sense. I gotta see how much it costs to buy compared to rent.
Okay.
Because if we get it on a Saturday to put it up for a Sunday, then we can return it on a Monday.
Right.
So we're gonna be looking into that.
Right. Well, like I said, you know, to anybody within the sound of this broadcast, my suggestion is, to have it at, a law school, and the reason being is that we gotta tighten up ourselves first and foremost. Get ourselves right at home, and then,
So my thing is this: we can take suggestions on what you think we should do.
Yeah.
You can hit me up at bornjustice@gmail.com and give me your understanding or your suggestion or even your advice on what we can do as far as having a parliament in Mecca. Whether we have it at the law school in Mecca, or should we do? I know the conversation is saying we should have our own, but it takes time to build, and the revitalization project is in motion to do that. So that's working, and everything is going good with that. But in the meantime, if we have to have a location to have our parliaments without asking anybody for anything, then I would think that the tent, I call it the revival tent, would be a perfect way to start in the law school in Mecca. But let me know your views and what you think, and hit me up at bornjustice@gmail.com. I will respond back to you. Peace. On that note.
Peace. Okay. So you touched on the revitalization project.
Right.
Can you elaborate on that a little more? Like,
Well, I'm not really in depth like that. What I've done, I hear bits and pieces of concept because I used to be on the calls a lot. They have the calls early Saturday morning. Now they have calls like on Friday evening. They call it Fish Fry, where they're striving to raise money up and they're putting out information to the nation. But from what I'm understanding, the movement is being progressive. They have dialogue with Mayor Adams. They're at a point, I think they're supposed to be meeting with the mayor. I'm not sure.
So you weren't on that call with the mayor?
No, I wasn't on that call. I was on the first call they had when they went to City Hall.
Okay.
I was on the first call. But I wasn't on the call with the mayor, but just certain people was on that call, I think it was like 3 or 4 people. Because they can't have 15, 20 people on the call because everybody got their own ideas. So I think that was good that they, summarized and put a few, which out of the group, or the core 5 that started it, they're doing pretty good, navigating and getting the information out. They make known at every parliament the progress, what they're doing, how much money they raise, where the money is going. And so far, things are going pretty good with that.
So okay, I've heard about the core 5. Like, are there other entities that are like, what are the moving parts in terms of the revitalization of the law school? Well,
basically, they're dealing with the blueprints, dealing with contractors that can draw up the paperwork. Before you go to the city, you got to get certain papers, and before you get anything built, you have to have certain things filed on hand. So they're reaching out to engineers and people that can do blueprint writing, and they're putting everything together. I think they're just having a meeting now. I think they call it a chirpy. I think that's the name of it, where they would talk to us about what we want to see, give them our ideas on how we want the construction to go. So that's where they're at right now with that. I mean, I haven't been privy to the call because I've been running around. I've been busy. I haven't had time to sit down. But they have these calls like 7:30 on Saturday mornings.
7:30 Saturday morning?
Yeah, they have 7:30 Saturday morning to like 9 o'clock. But it's been productive, it's been progressive, and it's going real smooth. And like I said, they added another component, what they call a fish fry, where they have it on Fridays. I think they having something today.
Fish fry, and where is it?
It's just a phone call.
It's just a phone call. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a phone call. They call it a fish fry. And from what I understand, it's the time they start collecting money, donations and things, small, large, whatever comes in is good. But I'm trying to think of the name.
So, I mean, well, who are the people, like, if anybody who had concerns or anybody might want to contribute or add on, who would they talk to? I know,
They can talk to Bilal, they can talk to Tamari, they can talk to Hashim out of Medina, Allah Savior. I mean, anybody that's on that team.
That's a core 5.
That's a core 5, but it's more than 5. It's 13 people now.
Okay.
So Allah Mathematics is one. I mean, he be on the calls. And you just that's your ideas. I think they have a website put up where they can put information out. I don't have that on hand, but I can either get it and send it to you so you can have a link so you can spread it with everybody near and far.
Right. Okay. So you recently gave me these lessons. I thought that was interesting. Can you tell me the story behind how you got the lessons?
You talking about the one I gave you that I told you I got from the father's brother?
From the father, and that's ALR.
ALR.
That was ALR.
When I came home in 1986, Umar and ALR lived in the same building on 117th Street. And Umar brought me down with Kenya, the father's grandson, the father's nephew, ALR's son.
Okay.
And introduced me to his father.
ALR son, well, that's Kenya, right?
Kenya,
Yeah.
Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
So he introduced me to ALR.
Kenya.
Kenya, that's his name. And ALR and I built for a little while. We got familiar with each other, and used to, you'd be talking to somebody, and they looking at you, they studying you, watching every word. But we having ciphers. Now I have a recording. I have to go to Best Buy to get a plug, because I can charge it so I can hear it. When I get it charged up, I'm gonna give you a call.
Okay.
To see how we can, listen to it, how we can transfer it or whatever.
And this is a recording
of ALR, and Wakil was at this particular meeting.
Yeah.
Umar was there. Now Shamar that be at the school said he was in the back room, but he didn't come out. But he said he was in the back room when we was there building. I don't know why he didn't come out.
Right.
But that time ALR had said something to me. He said, "You know what?" He said, "I got something for you." I said, "Okay." So he said, "When I saw you, I saw God in you by the way that you're speaking, and I can see your sincerity." So he went into a box and pulled out a set of 120 and said that this is the 120 that came out of Allah's book. And that's the 120 that I gave you, and I think you sent it to that brother. Renaissance, right.
Yeah.
That's not to negate what anybody else have, to change their lessons around.
Master Eyes, can you give Master Eyes? It wasn't Renaissance.
That's not for anybody else to change their lesson, because when people start saying they want the original lesson, having the original lessons, you're going to find errors in them based on Allah's understanding. Allah made certain changes in the lesson for a reason, based on His understanding, giving it to the young at that particular time.
Right.
So, but it's good to have for comparison's sake. But if you look at the grammar, a lot of stuff is missing. You got to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I noticed that there's a lot of there's a difference. Like, well, in this particular set you gave me, it still has skunk of the planet Earth.
Exactly.
Then also the culture degree of the student enrollment, it goes into land and water.
Exactly.
Which is, degrees that I have is just straight land, as far as
196,940,000 square miles. Then they tell you about land and water.
And they tell you about land and water in the 140.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But in these degrees,
it's there too.
It's in a
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Changes were made for a reason. That's the way it was. It's not wrong. Really, because the only thing you're doing is saying how much is land, how much is water, based to make up that 196,940,000 square miles of useful land.
Well, I'm just saying it's just more so like just how many changes. Like,
it's a lot of changes.
There's a lot of changes.
You would have to take the time, like the lessons I got from Prince. All right, his grammar was better. So to say certain things, it will mean the same as in as they call the original lesson, but because of the grammar errors, it's been corrected with the set that I have. I didn't give you that set, did I? That I have from Prince.
No.
I gave you the other set.
Give me the one that you got from ALR.
When I get a chance, I'll email you the set that I have from Prince.
So the one Prince, was it typewritten or handwritten? Or?
No. Well, I got it first. It was handwritten.
It's handwritten. Okay.
And I had a brother that and a sister that was working for Esquire, the paper that used to talk about satellites and Mars and all that. They used to work there, and we gave them a set of 120. It was handwritten, and they wrote it out, typed it out, and put them in pamphlet forms. So at that time, I was moving around a lot, going out of state. And Prince had told me he envied me because I was going around to Baltimore, Virginia. This is different states. And I was advised when I get to one of them locations to find the best Noah and get him a set of 120. Because it was stapled together. That way everybody would have a proper set. Because a lot of people don't come to the root, which is Mecca in New York. So we coming from Mecca, going to different branches of the state, we'll bring Mecca to them. and we would give it to the best knower. And it was successful because we made a lot of contacts that way. I used to travel with Queen Omala, go to different states. We used to travel with Queen Qualisha, Aquasia. We used to go to different places, and every time we went somewhere, we always gave out the lessons to the best knower.
I mean, there's so many different sets of 120 lessons. I mean, and there seems to be like, understanding there's a lot of people who are trying to get the original set. So I know they're on you about this set that you got.
They're on me, but what BLR Man and I was just speaking last night about it because somebody came to the school to ask for a set of lessons, and the brother told them that they didn't have any lessons at the time. So there's no way that we should not have a lesson at the school. Not that we have to give you the whole 120 at one time. We'll figure out where you at in your degrees, and then we'll help you out accordingly. Some kind of way we can figure out how to guide you and help you in that direction. So, but BLR Man came up with a good idea that, various brothers and sisters need to get together at the school, bring their set of 120, and let's have a conversation. And let's go through degree, and then say, okay, we all agree that this is going to be the set, that we're going to give out from the school. Not that I got to change your set or change this set, but we agree that this is going to be the set.
That'll be from the school.
That'll become from the school. So it'll be more acceptable and correct compared to just having 5 different people 120. Because everybody 120. Some people got, like I said, they got a law God in their mathematics.
Right.
Some got God a law, and some just got God.
Right.
And some people just lock in whatever they got from their enlightener or their educator. They don't want to change nothing. No, my enlightener gave me this. He told me this. I'm not changing nothing. That's wrong. Not trying to argue with nobody. Yours say a law God, peace, more power to you. Yours says a God, a law, more power to you. Yours just say God, then there it is. There's nothing to argue about.
So what are your thoughts about like trying to get all 120, everybody having the same exact set of 120?
That ain't gonna happen. Prince and I had a conversation one time. He said, God, the only way you're gonna get everybody to have the exact same 120 degrees, they're gonna have to go into the Mars.
And even in there, it's different because I've seen that there's...
No, they got one set that's basically universal.
Because I know when they went through that transition with...
Wafdi Muhammad?
Yeah.
But
then they came and got lessons.
Right, they burned them. They got rid of it. But the supreme wisdom that they have, basically, they're all the same. It's verbatim. And I got a book, just received a book the other day. I think the Supreme Wisdom, I think it's the expanded edition. It's 200 and I think it's 208 or 206 pages. It's that thick. And it has history. It has lessons. It has the history of the problem book.
You have it? You have it at the house?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
So when you get a chance, can you take a picture of it so I could...
You want to wait for a minute? I'll go upstairs and get it.
Okay.
Again, this is not for nobody to go crazy and change their lessons saying that I'm trying to change the lesson. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just adding on so you can see the other side of getting some type of expansion of knowledge. I spoke to Melchizedek. He don't even have the book.
Yeah, he gave me a book, and I'm noticing a lot of the degrees that you gave me that came from ALR, they resemble the ones that Melchizedek.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're like a lot more. And he's closer to the Mars.
Right.
Right. So, I just thought that it's interesting.
But like I said, the Prince told me that the only way you're gonna get everybody to have the same set of 120, they're gonna have to go into the Mars because the Mars got one set of 120 that everybody got to abide by, and you can't change nothing because how their national headquarters is. This is the way it is. Don't change.
They got like a ID basically.
Right, basically. Basically, that's what it is. But my thing is this: your understanding is your understanding. If you get the proper foundation, the proper knowledge, and as you get more knowledge and more understanding about your degree, you're going to change something in your degrees because you're going to see something that may be missing and that will make maybe the 8th degree and the 1 to 40 more applicable.
Right.
And you may deal with tornadoes. You know what I'm saying? You may be dealing with not just earthquakes, but there's certain kind of earthquakes. To be able to break it down, you got to break down what kind of earthquakes are we talking about. It's not just earthquakes and that's that. There's different forms of earthquakes. They had an earthquake in Jersey sometime this week. I don't know the scale that it was on, but I did feel it in my living room.
You felt it?
Yeah, I felt it in my living room.
Okay, that was like a couple of weeks ago.
No, last week. I think it was last week.
That, yeah.
Yeah, they had 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're dealing with tornadoes, you're dealing with all these things that can happen in the atmosphere, and you got to understand what causes these things to happen. You know, we saying that everything got to be caused by the Son of Man spraying with high explosives, but at the same token, you got to be able to understand what are those high explosives. You know, a lot of time high explosives dealing with things, man, can be out of your control. And if you can control your high explosives, and you can hurt people.
Right.
Same way you got knowledge of yourself, but if you don't apply your mathematics properly, you can hurt somebody that's really seeking to learn about their culture and learn about their history. And if you don't give them the proper knowledge, they can get lost and be easily led in the wrong direction based on what you're telling them if you're not guiding them in the right direction. Because our main thing is to civilize the uncivilized people and strive to get them on the straight path. But being on that straight path, you already got the devil trying to get you on the left side, the right side, above you, below you, in front of you, and behind you. You have to be on your square 24/7 to protect yourself. You know, because the devil will tell you, listen, I'm going to get them from the left, the right, up and down. You're going to find some of them not worthy. And it tells you that once you start studying and reading certain books. You know, the devil's going to tell you, like Iblis. I'm going to get them. You're going to, do what you got to do to me, but you're going to find some of them people that you're giving knowledge to that's not worthy of having it because they're not really, their heart is not really in it.
Right.
And it's that intent. You don't want to just have it, just say, I got it. You want to have and be able to do something good with it, and so you can be on the straight path and be able to live your life out as a righteous person.
God, having now, you said power God is, you said?
Power God, yeah.
Power God, yeah. You've seen many different things, and you've been at the school since the beginning?
No. My life grew up in the street and been incarcerated. From 86 to present is basically my main input into the nation.
Oh, 86, okay.
Right, as far as free cipher is concerned.
So before 86, you was like in and out to...
In the 80s and 70s, I was just running the streets with knowledge and no understanding. And like I tell brothers, they say, well, I had knowledge since so-and-so and so-and-so. Okay, you had knowledge since so-and-so and so-and-so, but did you understand the knowledge that you had? Because I had knowledge since 68, but I had no understanding since 68. I didn't have that like that. If I had it then, a lot of things that I was doing I wouldn't have done because I had understanding. I just had knowledge. I had knowledge and wisdom. I can quote the lesson. I knew the lessons. I could quote the lesson, but I didn't understand the lesson. That came through trial and error, and through my trials and tribulations, and I realized in the situation that I was in that I had to change my life and change the way I was thinking. And I told my mother on a visit when she came to see me when I was in the federal prison that as large as I had got in the drug game, I'm giving her my word, and word is my bond that I would not get myself involved in anything negative again. And that was in 1981. I did my time, came home in 86, and from then to now, all I've been doing is giving my time, my energy, my love and support to the nation of the 5%. And that's where I've been at. Just lately, within the last year, 2 years or so, I've put more time into the school because of the people that was there before me that passed away that's not there right now. I didn't want to see certain things just disappear and come to naught. Like G. Khalim is not there like he used to be. Father Bouchon is not there. Umar is not there. And so these are the brothers and sisters that would help, Cypher's not there, or Mala's not there. These are people that used to hold things together at the school as far as programs and stuff is concerned, nation events. We used to get together at the school and plan it and then implement it and make sure everything go right and exact, But we're trying to bring things back. We asking people to add on, to the show and prove, and we was doing it. The show and prove just passed was good, but it could have been great.
It could have been better.
It could have been better. I commend the brothers and sisters from the youth office that was dealing with it with the babies in the gym and outside. You know, they had a lot of activities going on, and that was real peace. And we are trying to bring the children back into the fold, with the women into the fold. And that's one of the things that we want to do here at the Positive Seed Resource Center.
Right.
I'm going to use this for civilization classes for young people and for sisters that want to have a place to come in to, you know, do what they do.
Right.
This way they feel secure being in a place, you know, where there's no interruptions, nobody to bombard them, to disrupt the flow of the classes or the courses. And we want to bring that same element to a law school in Mecca. I have built with a couple of guards from the youth office, and we want to have a meeting here to discuss a plan where we can create a youth advisory board for the law school in Mecca through a law youth center in Mecca, and have them have input on how to bring activities like they did it to show and prove, bring those same energy to the school. Right. That means we'll have more youth participation, we will have more young people participation, and we'll have more sisters involved with certain activities. So I mean, some good got to come to get rid of the bad, and we'll just turn it over, because if we don't have young people involved in nation growth and development, we're going to have a nation of senior citizens. That's not doing anything. Just sitting up in wheelchairs. They got motorized wheelchairs. They moving around there, and they got walkers. They got canes.
But a lot of times, a lot of those older brothers be the ones that run the young away.
Well, that has happened, but again, the young people have to take a stand respectfully and say, this is what I want to do at the school. It's right and exact. And if it's right and exact, nobody can tell you, no, you can't do it.
Right.
You know, you're not, the only thing you asking for is I want to use the space on the day that nobody is using the class. Like I think the guard name is Wise.
Supreme and Feel Mighty.
They came, presented something. They wanted to know what time they could come to the school. I think it's on a Saturday.
It's on a Saturday.
And they had a cipher after Law Shaw class.
Talking mathematics.
Right, that's the name of the group.
Yeah.
After Law Shaw has his class on Saturday, then they come in, I think it's 4. And and they stay there for a couple of hours. So people can come to the school. If a slot is open, please, I tell you, come take it. Just present your program, and there you go. We got the guard Rashawn on Sunday with the boxing. You know, I was in the school.
South, you got the senior.
And he started the program with the senior civil to work out. Yeah. So there's room there. It's just that the nation has to support the brothers and sisters that bring their programs to the school.
Well, speaking of that, like I said, you had this history for all these years. You said 86, and you saw the different eras of the school. Like I came, when I came, Colleen basically turned the school into a business.
What he did was, we didn't have no money coming in, and for some reason or another, bills had to be paid. There was a time when Colleen would just sell pictures of the father. It's the only time he ever would bring him out when we had to pay the Con Ed bill. Other than that, he wasn't selling the pictures. But the pictures being sold to pay the Con Ed bill because there was no funds coming in.
Wow.
What happened, some kind of way, I don't know how he got these ties. He went downtown, some Jewish dude, something happened, and he ended up getting a lot of ties. They start putting them up on the fence to generate money to pay for the bills and the utilities and things that had to be done at the school. Again, there was no money coming in. A law youth center in Mecca got formulated, if I'm correct, I think it's 1995, and we were starting to raise money. There was a time when I used to get flags from Eagle Regalia, but they was $5 to get then. So I was selling for $10, but I'm not just going to give you a flag.
Right.
I'm going to ask you some degrees. I may not go crazy in depth, but I will ask you certain degrees just to know that you understood that if you're wearing this flag, that means that you're a citizen in good standing with the 5%. And you're just not going to get a flag. When people try, let me get 2 flags. Okay, what lessons you dealing with? I'm in the Supreme Alphabet. I said, I can't give you a flag like that. You got to be more in-depth to your lessons. Because when you wear a flag, you got to at least know what it's about.
Right.
And you got to know something. You don't know who the original man is. And that's a problem from the gate. But children was something different.
Right.
Children, what's your name? My name is Amon Allah, and the day is build or destroy. Okay, there you go. Because the babies are building. But we would split the money in half. Half would go to the bills, other half would go to the law school in Mecca. and it maintained everything. The money
So it
goes
goes to
back.
the bills of
The bills, Con Ed bill,
the law
of
school.
the law school in Mecca.
Right.
Paid
The other half will go to
The other half will go to a law youth center in Mecca.
youth center.
A law youth center and to replenish what we took out. And then we kept everything going to a flow until we start. Again, we need people that know how to write grants. That literally, I know there's gods on earth on this view that write grants, they got jobs, that they know how to write grants for different companies and organizations. A law youth center in Mecca needs your help. If you got any skills to that degree and you want to add on to a law youth center in Mecca, we need all the help we can get. We only got 2 board members. That's a law savior and myself. And we holding it together on a thread to make sure that we can keep on going with the 501c3 to the best of our ability. We need help. So if you have any skill and you want to help out, bornjustice@gmail.com. Please, we need some help.
So what exactly is needed for to keep the 501c3 in good standing?
The main thing, we got to file our taxes every year. All depends what money we get in, we file that. That's not a problem. We get that out of the way. But the whole thing is to have a functioning 501c3, meaning we need to have youth activity at a law school in Mecca. Taking children out on field trips would be a good idea. Teaching first aid, CPR, things of that nature, that'd be a great component to have. Dealing with nutrition, dealing with health, that'd be a good component to have. Grant writing, resume writing, support, mental health, people that's in the mental health field. We can, computers, IT, those are the things that we really want to bring to the school because it's the Mecca of the growth and development of the nation. So we should be able to flourish in these particular directions. We should have different things going in different areas. We can have a chairperson dealing with health. We can have a vice chairperson dealing with nutrition. We can have somebody dealing with the money, the finances, how to get grant. We can have public relations. There's so many fields that we can get help in if we have the right people. You got, like I said, if you have an idea, bring it to the table. Nobody gonna tell you no if your idea can stand up on its own bottom. You can bring it, you got the results, and write it up. We'll talk about it. If it could be implemented and you can carry it out and get your team together that's moving in the right direction, it's welcome.
Well, one of the issues that I see is that our nation has, first of all, we have everything that we need, from what I can see.
Resources.
Resource-wise. However, there's so many people going in so many different directions, and it's hard to put it together. So, what would you say to connect the dots, to bring it all together?
Well, this is one of the things that the International Growth and Development Conference basically going to be about.
Like I said, October 11th.
Right, October 11th. Now, there's something else in the works for October the 10th, but I have to hold that for another day until I can get it confirmed. But if everything get confirmed, then I can make knowledge born. I want to cross the T's and dot the I's, but there could be a possibility of something happening on October the 10th. But the 11th is the date that the international conference is going to take place, and if you know about it, you should be able to register so you can be there. They're going to use the state office building in Mecca, and they also going to use the Schomburg on 135th Street and Lenox Avenue. So they're going to be in 2 spots at the same time.
Right.
I don't know if they are going to have it where you can see it online. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, we're working out those details now.
Okay.
With Big Lord Jamel and the 700 man and everything.
Okay. But that'll be ideal for people to bring their ideas. Because you got, if I'm correct, I think we got 11 regions.
Right.
Get ready to go to 12 regions, if I'm correct. So with a point person in all those regions, and if we can get the information, given out to a region rep, and the region rep can deal with his cipher in his region and relay the same information that we're having at the table, then we're good. This is the reason why I got this table here. It's not a square table, it's basically a round table, and it's a round table because we want everybody to have an equal voice, an equal playing field, where there's no leaders here. There's no followers, we're all on an equal playing field. We all can bring our ideas and have our input and be able to sit down as adults and civilized people to come up with a discussion and a plan to implement where we're going to take it to our area and we all agree that this could be done. You know, once we get it to a point to get it done, we just implement it, and it should be the same thing in each borough, whether it be in the tri-state area or in different states. We'll be linked up to be able to say, but this is the blueprint, this is the manuscript, this is what we're going to use for the children. Every state should have a family day, and at that family day, like example, Pelon having a family day August 17th in Katona Park, cooking area number 3. All are welcome to attend. Bring a dish. You want to make a donation, you can reach me at bornjustice@gmail.com. And the objective is to bring people together, bring the children together. We're going to have food, fun, activities. We're going to be social equality building. I'm going to be giving out shirts. Where your shirt at?
Yeah.
Let me see it. We're going to be giving out shirts to the babies. We're going to give out shirts to the children and some of the staff. Got it? Back it up. This is shirts that we're going to be giving out. This is something we're giving out to the children. And on the back, it's pow! This is what we're about. Peace in the streets. This is Positive Seeds and Pelon Inc. This is what we're going to be giving out.
Well, we're more than halfway through the year. We're about to approach 2026. Like, is there any ideas for what, you know, what the nation will be doing going forward from you know, in 2026?
Not from my point.
Law school, more so law school in Mecca.
Well, from a law school in Mecca, like I said, the point of view is to bring minds together so that we can come up with some programs at the school. So that's the direction that we're moving in. This parliament coming up is going to be in Medina, and we're going to make the call out to have various people, you know, come and add on to any type of program you could bring to a law school. What we're in the process right now doing, we're cleaning up the computer lab. So I tell people that anything that's in the computer lab that's theirs, please come and get it, because we're going to be throwing it out in a week.
In a week. So
in a week, because we gave
a week
2
from
weeks.
now, and this is the bill day of the bill month.
There you
right?
go.
Right, so
a week from today, we're going to start throwing stuff out of the computer lab. So if you have something in the computer lab, please come and get it out. Once we get the computer lab cleaned out, what we're going to do is change the combination on the door. Unique is going to come in, and he's going to upgrade all the computers. I think it's like maybe 10 or 11 in there right now.
okay.
I think only 2 or 3 might be working, but he's going to fix all of them. And it's going to be geared up to having people come from colleges. He's going to plug in, get some interns to come to the school to help out with having the classes. If he's not there, he'll have a point person that can be able to interact with the youth and teach them how to build computers. And after they build them, they can keep them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Building computer. That doesn't have. That's not with the Google Scholarship.
No,
program.
it's something different.
Okay.
This is something totally different. So that's going to be that for the computer lab. We just purchased a shed to where we're going to build a shed on the back of the school so that we can secure like the snow blower, supplies for the school, things of that nature to make room inside the school. And we're going to strive to make the back area of the school more applicable to be able to cook some food. Like, so we have young people there, we're able to pick some burgers or hot dogs or whatever, a salad, and we're able to give them nourishment. So we're going to fix that back area of the school. A Law Youth Justice already bought a counter base, a brand new counter base. We cleaned out all the cupboards so that we can put wholesome and nutritious meals in there. We have a freezer there, and we have a refrigerator that's empty, clean, you know, things of that nature. So far, we're moving in that direction. And the direction is to have more positive programs at the school.
Right. Are we going to be doing anything for those said? So I like to say holidays, right? Like like the season that's coming. Because you know we don't deal with the holiday. We don't deal with the holiday when we deal with the community.
Well, the thing about I know that the Office of Cultural Management and Doc Kim program, I think it's Random Jewels.
Random Jewels.
They are going to be giving out school supplies sometime.
Right. That's I want to say sometime late August.
Right, but they're going to be giving out school supplies from the school. That's going to be one of the things. Far as the Now Cycle Victory Feast, or even like I said, October the 10th, everything go good, we will make an announcement.
Okay.
We will do it the same way. And we can make an announcement and let you know what's going to happen on October the 10th, once everything is taken care of. I was supposed to meet the sister today at 12 o'clock, but she called me and told me she caught COVID a couple of days ago, and we had to cancel the meeting. So we got it, I think it's back on for Tuesday at the Justice Hour. So if that comes out pretty good and everything is locked and loaded, I'll give you a call and we can go from there. So for the now type of victory feast goes, like I said, we have to have it on the law school ground with the tent and everything. That'll be something we can do in the very near future. But as this information comes to me, I will give you a call and we can be able to spread it out between social media and the media that you have.
Okay, peace. All right. Is there anything else you want to add on?
Well, basically, one of the things that I like to speak about is whatever lesson that you're dealing with, do the best that you can to gain an understanding of your lessons, because studying your lessons is a blessing if you apply yourself. It's not just about quoting the lessons. It's also about making the lessons applicable to your life, to make them walk and talk. You know, Dumar Wadi used to always say that to make your mathematics walk and talk is not an easy task. But if you apply yourself to live in mathematics and you build on the positive and destroy the negative, you'll be successful in your undertakings. That's the only thing I can say about that. Each one got to teach one. But in order to teach somebody, you have to be able to reach them. It's not about arguing about certain, my degree say this, and my lesson said this, and this person told me that. If you're studying, and you actually are studying, you can be able to read certain things and be able to get an understanding that even if a person taught you something 5 years ago, I'm not saying it's wrong, but you got a better perspective, you should be able to articulate your perspective to whereas you can show a person that you're not wrong, but this is a better way of looking at it. Because it all depends how you approach a person in a warm current, in dealing with the currents of the atmosphere. You deal with a warm current so they can hear you and receive what you're saying. Not to go in a cold current, not to be in a swift and changeable current, just to try to get somebody to see your point. You want to talk to the people, you don't want to talk above their head, and you don't want to go around their head. You want to go to them and meet them where they at on their level. And the only way you can do that, the best way to come is in a warm current and be able to make your point of view. We have a habit of saying we're going to take things from knowledge to born, but it's not an elevator ride. You don't go to the 9th floor just like that. You have to go through the 7 stages to get to born. And if you got to get to the build or destroy stage, you're either going to get built and come out born alive, or you're going to get destroyed and come out dead. So it all depends how you apply your 7 stages, with your wisdom, your understanding, your cultural freedom, your power of refinement, your equality, the reality of God, which is good orderly direction, and then you get to build or destroy. And it's, again, how you apply yourself on that particular 8th principle. Are you going to come out built to be born in this glorious day and be born alive? Or are you going to come out destroyed and be born and be mentally dead? The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Peace.
The national representative, I mean,
Yeah, that's what.
that's kind of what you kind of
That's
build it for yourself, right? Like,
That's BLR man. He's, oh, you national spokesman. Don't care what nobody say.
yeah, I think I've seen this before. Expanded edition.
That's what it is.
You said this is a thick book.
Yeah, one of them, the one on the right. Let me see something.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
It's
That's
two.
Okay.
It's 2, but one of them said on 120. Okay, this is the one. It said, I got the back on here, but it says, yeah, here it go. I like this. It says, the brother's name is Alam Khan Production.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, 5% is glad, 10% is mad. That's his concept. Somebody send me something.
Have you heard brothers say, like, like ask you, what's the 90th degree of 120 lessons? Like,
Yeah.
and of course, it depends on how you got it.
Well,
right?
I never got it like that, but some brothers, they got it like the 97th degree and 120 and so on, so on, so on. So I never learned that.
Yeah, I never.
No, that's good for them.
Right.
You know, don't come to me with that. I don't know it like that. What is the question? Give me the question. Oh, God is the 10th degree in the 140. Oh, I can answer.
No,
that.
but you know that's a mental exercise. I mean, I can see where it could get confusing and it could.
Yeah, you got to study that from the get go. That's not so like now. I would never try to learn how to do that. I got knowledge till I was 15 years old. My mind was a sponge.
Right.
I mean, I was in Otisville. I mean, I was in Spotfoot. I got knowledge, and then when I got to Otisville, I basically knew my lessons, most of them, but I got really grilled in Otisville. They still on?
Yeah, I'm yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when I got there, that's when they got grilled, but we was young. And all we was talking about was mathematics. I wasn't talking about no basketball. I wasn't talking about boxing. We was talking about studying the lessons. That's all we was talking about. And the older brothers that used to give us counsel, like Black Sea Shamgar was Swift back in the day. A Law of Freedom, he was Swift back in the day. They Swift now, but then they was at it. Now they more, settled. Hameen, firstborn Hameen, he's no longer with us. And they used to be Swift in their lessons, man. And it wasn't no joke. Definitely had to know who you was. If you're a 5%er, and you say you're a 5%er, you need to know what the 16th degree is in a 1 to 40. You need to know who a 5%er is.
Right.
And we don't eat pork. Why we don't eat pork? You can't tell a person not to eat pork and not give them the reason why. Because one of the things they're going to tell you, I've been eating pork all my life.
Right.
It ain't did nothing to me. But if you really look at your health, when you go to your doctor, and your doctor tell you got high blood pressure, or you got diabetes, and all this extends from the way that you was eating, how you was living, then you turn around and you want to change your life around, learn how to eat to live. You want to learn about plant-based diets, how you can turn things around, that you're drinking sodas and all this is tearing your insides up with the chemicals. I don't drink no sodas.
Me neither.
I drink lemon water. I drink sugar free. If it's a drink, I know it's sugar free, not no sugar added. Because if it says no sugar added, that means it already got sugar. And they got ice cream and say no sugar added. So read the label and find out that they still got like 5 grams of sugar in there. So that's still, you got type 2 diabetes, that's gonna make your sugar go up. All depends. If you eat a spoonful, you're good. But if you get a little bowl and eat it, it's gonna make your sugar go up. So you got to be able to gauge and monitor, what you're putting in your body.
What do you think about getting this knowledge when you're younger versus getting it when you're older?
I think it's a blessing if you can get it when you're young, because you really haven't locked yourself into living life. But you only going to school basically unless you're dealing with some kind of recreational activities, boxing, sports, or whatever, or you in the music industry and you're trying to, all your time is devoted to school, your craft, and going home. Your mind is more adaptable when you're young. Like I said, I got mine I got it when I was really 13. I got it when I was 13 years old, and as I grew into the culture, we learned how to. I couldn't even watch television. People watching TV, I was sitting down with a composition book writing my lessons out. The person
got studious.
Huh?
You got studious.
Yeah. A brother that was enlightening me at the time was telling me, you can't watch TV. He said, you want to be part of this, you got to do this, that, and the other. And we used to write them, and it helps. Even to today, I may stop something and say, let me write 3 degrees out. And I may write 3 degrees out just to make sure I got them off cap, and then check my paper, my lesson.
So this is your study method?
That's my study method. Right, because sometimes it's good to write them out because you might forget something. Unless you really building with your degrees, that's why it's always good to go through your degrees on a daily basis or go through certain lessons on a daily basis. Every day you should be going through something to keep your mind sharp, because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. It's going to get rusty. That's what they call rusty locks. In order for the locks to get unrusted, you got to put some oil on it. You got to use it. So to me, it's harder to teach a person when they're older because their mind is already set in their ways.
Stuck in their own ways, right? And
they're stuck in a lot of things they question. When you're young, everything is free. You ain't got no fear.
Right.
When you're young, you ain't got no fear. You just do everything, whatever it is. Well, give it to me. And you learn it, come back tomorrow. I got it, blah, 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 blah. Bam. Right. Even the firstborn, when they got it. I was reading something last night when the father gave 4 of the firstborn, the first 5 degrees in the student enrollment. He went to the store from this degree that I have. He went to the store, and when he came back, they knew the 5 degrees. Then he gave them the other 5 degrees, and that's how they got the student enrollment. That was Black Messiah, Salam, Prince, and Naheem. That's the 4. And then the rest of them came later on, and they got it. But that's how they got it, because they was young.
Right.
And it's like a toy. It's a brand new toy. Oh, I got this, man. I can do this. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Yo, I got this. You ain't got it. Nah.
Yeah,
now here, this is what I got. Let me give it to you. You my man, and give it to you, and you get it. Now we bouncing off each other. So every time you turn around, they see us together all the time, and we building. And then we got a brown seed, then we got a yellow seed with us. So it's black, brown, and yellow. We always together when we moving around. But my moving around like that was, like I said, most of my days was incarcerated.
Right.
But I still today have a black seed, I have a brown seed, and I have a yellow seed. Be able to communicate, because the knowledge seed is going to get a knowledge of it. The brown seed is going to give you the wisdom to speak about it. The understanding seed is going to make sure that the understanding being made manifest. You know, and that's how you go. You want to cipher, you're building with somebody. If I'm building with somebody and I got a black seed and a yellow seed, they're going to be there with me, boom, to show me support. Because at the end of every month, one of the things that Prince had told me, he said, at the end of every month, or the last 2-3 days of a month, is the last time that the devil will have a chance to really get you to fall victim. If you really look at it, that's when the black, brown, and yellow seed need to come together so they can become one. So when the devil is trying to make a transgression against them, that the devil can't win. His chances of getting you separate, he could be successful. But his chances of getting you with all 3 people, black, brown, and yellow seeds being together, near the end of the month, is damn near impossible.
The importance of coming together.
There you go. The important key is to come together. All people say all minds being one. I mean, we all advocated for the same common cause. What is that common cause? You see what I'm saying? What are we advocated for? Besides teaching civilization to all human families of the planet Earth, what else are we advocated for? We advocated for the upliftment of the youth in the community. We advocated for the betterment of our women to be protected, to be respected, to be nurtured. I mean, then we also got to we advocated for the same common cause, to have peace of mind. Because there's a lot of things going on out here this day and time. Look what Donald Trump is doing. He's trying to eliminate the original culture. He took the bust, the head of Martin Luther King Jr. out of the White House.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they trying to put it the DEE, the DEI. They crushed it. They trying to crush that.
The DOE.
DOE, he hitting certain things that's basically eliminated when it come down to the original people. I got a call this morning and found out that BET stopped, they put on hold the BET Hip Hop Awards, and the BET is 2 parts that they knocked out. They put them on hold because of Paramount having so much control.
Yeah,
they own it. So they cutting things up. So before you know it, you're not going to have some of the program that you used to have back in the days as far as recognizing your own culture. You got to create your own venue. You know?
That's why I think it's important for us, like, you know, looking at the whole Trump thing, like, that's, you know, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm just more so like saying that that's telling us we need to get our stuff together. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing, like, you know, or the same principle of, like, you know, dealing with the schools, like, you know, in terms of not 92 and Harry Tubman, you know, no, go and get yourself together before you try to interface with these people.
So the whole perspective is knowing how to act at home and abroad. I tell people this all the time. The way you speak at a parliament is not going to, you won't speak the same way if you're in a boardroom. But if you're in a community board meeting and you're called upon to address an issue in your community, you ain't gonna get up there and talk, well, today's mathematics to build or destroy, you know, what make rain, hail, storm, earthquake, you know, you're not gonna do that. But you can say what you have to say and say, well, listen, I'm building in my community. I'm working in my community with the children, with the youth. I'm in contact with the 46th precinct, with the public affairs office when they do things in the community. You know, I add on to that. The local politician, Ms. Sanchez, I do certain things with her. So this is my way of saying I'm building in my community. I mean, I'm dealing with outreach. I'm doing something in my community besides just quoting lessons. I'm working with the people in my community. I may give out food with the association of the Assemblywoman, Miss Sanchez. I helped her with her re-election. You know, we had a spot up the block where she, like similar to this, that she rented out for her campaign office. I had a team of people that I know that went over there and painted, fixed it up for her and everything. It turned out real good, you know. But the thing about it, like I said, the way you speak at the parliament, you don't say the same thing with people in the street. You draw it up and let your understanding manifest what you have to say, and you'll get the same point across. It'll be the same thing as if you were staying in front of the parliament. Instead of saying I'm building with the people in my community, I'm talking to the people in my community. Instead of me saying I'm building, blah, 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 I'm working with the people in my community. It's still the same thing. You're communicating, you're working with them, you're networking. And it's all about networking. We always have this saying about each one teach one, but you gotta first be able to reach them. And if you're not approachable, you know, you're not doing what you're supposed to do and living respectfully, people look at you from a distance. I had I was on 125th Street earlier, a senior citizen woman was pushing a cart with her home attendant. And she stopped and said, "Excuse me, honey, you look real nice today." I said, "Thank you very much, man, I appreciate it." I went 2 blocks down, another lady said something to me. Then one old hustler said, "Go ahead, hustler, I see you, player." Recognizing that, you know, you dress a certain way, you walk a certain way, they acknowledge that, you know, you're something to be reckoned with. Not that I get dressed up to please anybody, I dress up to feel good for myself. But people recognize and say, you know, I always say, "Thank you very much, have a great day, appreciate it, and let's keep it moving." All right, peace. We used to have civilization classes up the block here on the left-hand side, down in the basement. They got a community space down there. This right here used to be the office I used to work out of. This was the main office. They got office space down there. And these some of the buildings that I used to manage. Here, there, over here, them buildings up there before I retired.
So you're over here like community builder in your own community.
I basically became a community ambassador, whereas they had something called, the city would give us a grant to go to the tenant's apartment and get some information on their income. It's called a Sitco program. And Sitco you get signatures and get up information, and we would get paid for knocking on people's doors, getting the income of the people in the building, and they would get a discount on their oil for the building.
Oh,
so
wow.
say they was paying $100 for some oil, they may get a $25, deduction after you give us the information. The more buildings I would do, the more checks I would get. So sometimes I would take 3 buildings or take 4 buildings and get people to help and say, "Listen, you take this building, I'm gonna give you $100. Where I may make a certain couple $100, I can cover more buildings."
Right.
So it's called a Sitco program. It's called Sitco grants. I don't know if they do it anymore over here, but to be an outreach coordinator, I was a community ambassador in my area. I would give out information that was pertinent, dealing with sanitation, how to get rid of debris with mice and things of that nature. Any communication that needed to be given to a tenant, we would do it through an outreach, which we call the community ambassador program. That means we was working within the community to give the community any type of information that they need to help better arm themselves about the update information that's coming from the Department of Sanitation, Department of Health and Hygiene, or even the Department of HPD. Like if you look at the fire escape windows up here, you see the brackets. This is a violation. See how that window, the violation right there? You're not supposed to have the air conditioning in the window like that. It's supposed to have those brackets.
The brackets.
The brackets by HPD. Anybody that has air conditioning in their window that's like that, HPD can come right here and give a violation to the building. If you look around, same thing over here. They got a bracket there, got a bracket here, a bracket there. They got a bracket there, but no AC. There's no bracket there. These are certain things that you'll learn from the community ambassador classes if you're working within your community. We also got a credit union here that basically cater to the people in the community to give them low interest loans. You know, I got a couple of loans out here and paid it back to help, you know, my Positive Seeds program. We used to do block parties on the block, but being that it's not too safe out here these days, block parties are not the way to go. So you want to come have some fun, come to the August 17th Pelon Family Day Cookout on at Katona Park. Picnic area, cooking area number 3. We'll be there.
It's on a 5 and 2 train.
It's 5 and 2 train. It's on the Boston Road area, 174th Street, I think it is.
Right.
Somewhere in that area.
All right, peace, bro. So you're a community. You came out. You started taking over these buildings. A couple of these buildings.
Well, the company took over, not me.
But you gotta manage them. Like,
Yeah, I managed 31 buildings over here before I
31
retired.
buildings.
31 buildings.
That's a way to kind of engage the community.
Exactly. And again, being able to work with the community, people have repairs need to get done in their apartment. And my thing was to communicate with them, with the team that I had, to make sure they had heat, hot water, no broken window. Because sometimes you try to lift your window up and it drop right down. That means the window balances need to be changed. If you got a window that's you open and come right back down, then you got a window balance problem. There's nothing wrong with the window, it's the window balance. You got to have a certain temperature for heat and hot water. If you don't have that, the city will get the housing project, or you live in the housing company, a violation for not adequate heat and hot water. And the weather's changing now, so I think it's October. I think if I'm correct, if the heat come back on, I think it's October the 15th.
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah, you got to be careful. So that's what we're doing. You see, it's quiet over here in this neighborhood. There's no woo-woo, wah-rah, no gunshots. It's peaceful.
This area used to be like that.
It used to be a wild, wild west.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Everything calmed down. Shows the impact of the 5% in the community.
Peace.
All right, peace.
INFMEGA did this.